Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to break down UFC 320 featuring title fight light heavyweight division Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev 2, the rematch. And it's also featuring the bantamweight title up for grabs, Merab Dvalishvili versus Corey Sandhagen. Pretty decent card. We've had a lot of fight nights, not a lot of pay-per-views lately, so I'm looking forward to a pay-per-view quality main card. Let's get right into it. First fight of the night, we got Veronica Hardy, 9-5-1, taking on Brogan Walker, 7-4. Odds are super wide. No woman's should really be a minus 600 on like the bottom of a card where, it's kind of low-level fighters. It's not like you have some absolute killer here. So minus 600 is not warranted, but simply put, Brogan Walker stinks. Veronica Hardy smashed Juliana Miller. Juliana Miller smashed Brogan Walker. I know MMA math doesn't work, but I mean, what's Brogan Walker's path to victory here? Blanketing her for 3 rounds? Probably not going to happen. I will not be betting on it because the odds are too wide, but Veronica Hardy is definitely the pick. What do you think?
Yeah, she's a pick, but it was like with a long heart. I'm picking her here because listen, I went to looking into it, I tried to find every little piece of evidence to see if Broken Walker could take this girl down and like hold her down for anything, and I don't think so. Anyways, Hardy should be the mix up the striking. I don't think she finishes here though because excuse me, Walker's a little bit tough at least. So whatever. I think it's a low level women's fight, and yeah, Veronica Hardy.
Next fight of the night, welterweight division. We got Ramiz Brahimaj, 12-5, taking on Austin Vanderford, 13-2. Pretty even matchup. Brahimaj, he's been winning more fights than I thought he would. Like he's been doing better than expected. He seems to be getting better. He can snatch a neck if it's there. His hands have been looking a lot better. Like he's not a bad fighter. Problem is Vanderford's a tough guy, so I don't think Brahimaj is going to knock him out, and I don't think Brahimaj will be on top of him getting a submission. So this could kind of look like a grinding affair where Vanderford's maybe just a little bit bigger or a little bit better of a wrestler, the one who's maybe more and more control. Uh, I think it's a fairly competitive fight here, and I'm not going to count Brahimaj out because, like I said, he's been winning, but I'm going to side slightly with Vanderford. What do you think?
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I'm going with the Vanderford here too. Fight actually kind of looks like and reminds me of that Court McGee versus Brahimaj fight. Uh, Court McGee's more of a grinder, take you down, hold you down kind of guy, and Brahimaj let it happen, right? Who was this last fight where he beat the guy? He was a massive underdog in that fight, and it was Billy Ray Goff. But Goff didn't have the wrestling that Austin Vanderford's shown that to have in his career, right? So listen, man, I think Vanderford's the better wrestler here. I think he can hold him down for times, and Austin Vanderford, for all his faults, can hold guys down on the ground. And once he does have that grappling edge, he'll beat you. And I think he has a grappling edge here. I don't think Brahimaj catches him with anything off the back. And yeah, minus 300. I don't like it, but I think he has the grappling edge. Austin Vanderford.
Next fight of the night, still in the welterweight division, we got Punahele Soriano, 11-4, who has dropped down to welterweight, which is shocking because he was a pretty big dude, pretty thick guy, taking on Nikolay Veretennikov, 13-6. Soriano at his best is awesome. The guy hits like a fucking freight train. Like he can knock anybody out. He does have pretty decent wrestling. Like I said, big, strong guy, explosive dude. My problem with him is he's so inconsistent. It's like every other fight or every third fight, he looks like he's just fucking huffing for air, like he's just totally gassed out, and like you could just tell really quickly which Soriano you're getting. And I think at his best, he wins this fight. But if he doesn't come in shape and he gasses or any of that shit happens, Veretennikov can play spoiler here. So for that reason, I think I'm staying away from this fight. Um, I almost wanted to stab Veretennikov, to be honest. I almost wanted to stab him and think that he could just be the higher output. But again, Soriano at his best can probably floor this guy or take him down and beat him on the ground. Like, I don't know. Fuck. At his best, Soriano I think can win this fight. So I'm gonna take Soriano, but proceed with caution. I won't be betting it personally. What do you think?
Normally, I would say proceed with caution with Soriano, but like if you look at his last couple fights, he's actually looked like he's fighting a lot smarter against Miguel Baeza. He took him down 5 times and really used the wrestling. Then against Euro Smedic, he waited for the counter and stood on the feet. Against Veretennikov, Veretennikov has a very if you can out grapple him like Austin Vanderford and Michael Morales, like you can win. And I think Puniel Soriano can't out grapple him. Now, like you're always gonna have that gas tank issue, or like that you're always gonna have that in the back of your mind. Like, is that gonna happen? Blah 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 blah. But like sometimes, like we say here, like prime for prime, best fight for best fight. Who's the better fighter here? And it's Soriano by leaps and bounds, if you ask me. So I actually like him a lot here because the hole in Veretennikov's game is the wrestling. So if Soriano's got any type of good coaching of any sort, they should exploit that a little bit early on and then go from there. So I'm gonna go with Soriano for sure.
All right. Next fight of the night, UFC bantamweight division. We got Patchy Mix 20-2 taking on newcomer Jacob Wiklacz 16-3-2. I picked against Patchy Mix in his first UFC debut. I said, like number one, I don't always trust these Bellator guys, and number two, I just don't think that Mix is that fucking great. I think he relies on the grappling way too much. That being said, this is or should be a get right fight. I mean, if he can't beat Jacob Wiklacz, I'm not sure he really belongs in the UFC at all. So I think Wiklacz is probably better than we're all giving him credit for. But regardless, this is a fight that Mix has to win. Like this is a fight that yeah, he has to. So for that reason, I'm going to pick him. I'm not overly excited for it. I don't think this is going to be the most exciting fight, but I will choose Patchy to get a win. What do you think?
I think this has to be a get right fight for Patchy Mix. If he can't beat a guy of this caliber, then what the hell is he doing in the UFC? Let's be honest here. Um, some takeaways from the first fight, like where the hell was his grappling? Relies on the grappling a lot. I get it. I understand what you're saying. It's 100% true. If you look at everything but that last fight, like he didn't go for a takedown until later in the fight. Like what the hell was this guy doing? I fight like he was way off on that last fight, and I hope this is a get right fight for him because this Wiklacz guy, like, he's fought the same guy 3 out of his last 4 fights in the KSW, man. Sebastian, I can't say his last name, and like he's beaten the same guy 3 out of 4 times, and he's won his last 4 in KSW. So, like, I don't know, man. Like this, if this ain't a setup fight for Patchy Mix to win, then whatever. I quit betting on UFC because like this seems just like they're setting him up. But anyway. Yeah, and there's no technical breakdown. I think this has got to be the UFC feeding this guy to Patchy. So anyway,
All right, next fight of the night, we got Macy Chiasson 10-4 taking on Yana Santos 16-8. Two girls that have been around for a very long time. I mean, even though Macy doesn't have a ton of fights, she still has been in the UFC for a while. Neither are really climbing the ladder or getting any better. So, I mean, it almost seems like they're both at the end of their careers, it feels like. Yana Santos, mostly known for striking, mostly known for probably pressure. She comes forward, she throws frantic. She's not good by any means. But she sets sometimes a pretty crazy pace, to be honest. Macy Chiasson, I think, is the more dangerous person, but she's also probably the more inconsistent person. I mean, she's more capable of finishing the fight. Um, yeah, so I'm going to lean Macy just for being more dangerous. Yana could totally potentially outpace her and outwork her and just kind of get her down and maybe ground and pound her from the top, maybe. But I'm going to say the more dangerous fighter is Macy Chiasson, and I'm going to lean with her. What do you think?
yeah, she's a more dangerous fighter. I think in this case, Macy's at her best when she can use her ground game. Yano, prior to her last few fights, has been able to be taken down. Remember, she won that fight where she was on her back the whole time, and like she gets taken down, and when Macy is taking the difference between Macy and some of those girls that take people down, when Macy takes you down, she takes you down for a reason. Because honestly, if there's it's on the feet, like if this stays on the feet for any amount of time, I think Yana has a good chance of outpacing her, like you said, out voluming her. Because Macy doesn't throw a hell of a lot of volume on the feet, to be quite honest with you. Like she doesn't because it's because I feel like she tires that way, right? I feel like when she throws too much volume, she gets tired too quickly. And if she's able to grind you a little bit, then yeah. So I think this is a slow grind. I think she is able to take her down a couple times, and I do think she is able to use her ground game a little bit. I think she's gonna have to mix some striking in here because Yano's tough as hell. Does try to get up, but yeah, I'm leaning Macy. I think she's got a slightly better future in this division and slightly better future in the UFC. And honestly, she's a little bit more exciting than Yana Santos's Hiaz, right? Like, she's just like Yana Santos is just like a cheap version of Caitlin Chukagian in my eyes. And yeah, so with less skill and less of a jab, shorter arms and all that other good stuff. But anyway, point is, I think Macy can grind her for a bit. So Macy it is.
All right. Next fight of the night, we got 12-2 Daniel Santos taking on 9-0 Juseng Yu. So listen, I mean, Santos has the way higher level of competition, so the more experience. He's a dangerous fighter, pressure guy, that shoot box style, comes forward, aggressive striking, very hittable, very hittable. But I mean, he's shown a pretty good chin. He gets rocked, he gets dropped, but he gets back in the fight, almost like a fucking Charles Oliveira, to be honest. Kind of fights like that. So I mean, every single thing should lead you to believe Daniel Santos wins this fight, but I still find myself wanting to choose Ju Sang Yu strictly because I feel like Santos, there's a lot of red flags. This guy has pulled out of so many goddamn fights recently. I don't know where his head's at. I can't fault Sang Yu for like he's beat everybody they put in front of him. So he's done what he's like. You can say, oh, he hasn't fought anyone, but you can only beat who's put in front of you. I just feel like Santos is hittable. I feel like, I don't know where his head's at. I feel like he could be due for a loss here. I'm not sure of these odds, but if you is a big underdog, I'd be looking at stabbing him. To be honest, well, what are the odds here?
Minus 138 for
Awesome.
Santos,
So it's a,
plus
so it's a very
110.
close fight.
Yeah, it's a close fight.
Dude, I've picked Daniel Santos so many times. I've won money on him. I've chosen him in fights that he's pulled out of, even against Davey Grant. I chose him to win that fight. I think you were on the Grant side, if I remember correctly. I don't
Mhm.
remember. Either way, I've chosen Santos over better fighters, but I find myself leaning you right now because I don't like all the red flags on Daniel Santos for me. He's pulled out too many times recently, and too many pullouts. I don't know. Fuck it. I'm not. It's not a bet. Bets and picks are different, so anybody can make a pick. I get it, but my pick right now is I'm just gonna stab saying you. What do you think?
I kind of like what Sang Yu brings to the table, though, to be honest with you. He brings some good striking. He brings some aggressiveness. Santos, yo, man, he kind of slows down as the fight goes on. You can always see it. And he's prone to giving up around here, there, too. And he's also prone to having to use the ground game to really solidify wins in some cases, right? Because he just can't pull it off all on the feet. And if Joseng Yu, from what I've seen, can keep this standing for, well, he's done it for most of his career. And like you said, obviously, this guy has not fought like the Julio Arces. But look at that. Look at that fight. The Julio Arce fight versus Daniel Santos, right? Arce was able to keep that fight standing for the majority of what happens. He outvolumes him easily. Beats him in that fight, right? And Santos to win fights, even against Castaneda, even against Ji Yang or whatever the Asian guy that he fought last time, he had to use the ground game. He didn't even even when he fought what was that guy's name? He wasn't that good. Johnny Munoz, you know what I mean? Like I didn't feel like that was still like a good fight by my standards. Like Johnny Munoz, he should have, for all intents and purposes, put him out. Like, but he let him hang around, and yeah. So I mean, he's not dominating these fights, and Judy saying what is right. And again, like you said, the resume is not there, but he's beaten everyone he's put in front of him. And like honestly, man, like Santos lets these things get too close sometimes, and that'd be a problem here against Juseng Yu. And that's funny that I was leaning the same way. But yeah, just saying you.
All right. Next fight of the night, we got Farid Basharat, 13-0, taking on Chris Gutierrez, 22-5-2. Sorry. This is actually the fight I'm looking forward to the least. I find Chris Gutierrez extremely boring. I'm sorry to say it. I just do. And Basharat's not exactly fucking getting my heart pounding here or whatever. Like, I don't know. These are just two guys that I don't love to watch. Is it possible Chris keeps him at bay and leg kicks him to a decision? Totally possible. But I'm going to lean Basharat by decision. Again, if there's one fight that I'd really going to go for fucking a couple shots and take a break or something like that, whatever. I don't know. If you're looking to kill a couple, if you're a smoker, this is your smoke break fight. Give me Basharat by decision. What do you think?
Well, this one's a tough one for me actually, because I give Chris a lot of credit on some of his fights that he wins, right? Who was that guy that Basharat lost to last fight? Wasn't it? Who did he
He's
lose to?
undefeated. It's the other Basharat.
Was the other Basharat that lost? Okay, my fault. But these guys are, excuse me, keeping these fights a little bit too close, if you ask me. And
Oh, this is guaranteed decision in my mind, like guaranteed.
yeah, man, I like, but Gutierrez is tough as shit, anyways, right? Guaranteed decision for sure. So I mean, I guess the best bet in this whole entire fight is to go the over 2.5. Yeah, but like you know what, like he's taking like Victor Hugo. Taylor Lapis is a tough guy. The only guy he's ever finished was Clitson Rodriguez, Damon Blackshear. I mean, he's fought the better guys. I'm gonna go with Fareed, but like I wish Chris Gutierrez had a little bit more volume. I mean, variety to his striking, right? You know what I mean? Him himself, that the last couple fights have been close, right? He barely beat that other guy that I thought yeah, John Castaneda. He could have lost that fight. He lost parts of that Quang Lee fight. Yeah, boring fight though. You're right. Over 2.5. I'm going for Reed. I don't like the odds though.
All right. Next fight of the night should be a bit funner. We got Edmund Shabazyan, 15-5, taking on Andre Muniz, 24-7 in the middleweight division. This will be a finish. 100% this fight will finish. Shabazyan is either going to knock him out in the first round, or first or second round. Yeah, probably first round. Or Muniz is going to submit him. I just cannot see any other scenario. You're looking at a finish here. Um, I'm going to take Shabazyan by knockout. I feel like he's maybe finally turned that page. Maybe he won't gas out. Again, so I'm going to take Shabazyan by knockout, but a Muniz submission, maybe some kind of hedge or something like that on the flip side is totally in play. What do you think?
I mean, if you look at the guys that Muniz has been losing to, though, they're pretty high up on the totem pole, if you ask me, right? Like Ikram Aliskerov, Paul Craig, but like whatever. Paul Craig's Paul Craig, but Brendan Allen, he's fought Jung Young Park, beating Uriah Hall, Eric Anders, Jacare Souza. Like those are pretty good feathers in your cap. And like Shabazian, he does fall off a cliff, but Dylan Buka didn't really push it. He's not really a good fighter, and Andre Petrosky is not a very good fighter after we saw him last week. So he really and he stood with Edmund and the only problem with Muniz, I'm actually gonna take a shot on Muniz here. So like if he gets it to round two, I think he has a decent chance because I'll say this much about him. He at least he fucking goes and pushes the wrestling and tries to get this fight to the ground, right? You know what I mean? So if he kind of zaps, I mean, and he's a tough guy too, right? He's like, so like he does get finished and all that kind of stuff, but like, I mean, Alice Karoff has some outworldly power, and Paul Craig and Brendan Allen didn't finish him till the second and third round. But you got to remember, Paul Craig's got a really good cardio system working for him. Brendan Allen's got a really good cardio system working for him. A lot better than what I've ever seen at Edmund. And when Edmund's pushed, right? I mean, he lost to Gerald Meerschaert, and Jerry Meerschaert has never been the greatest, but Gerald Meerschaert's never been the worst either. And what do we say in that fight? We said just have to get it to the second round. Just get to the second round. And I feel like it's the same thing with Andre Muniz here. Just like get it to the second round, right? And I don't see many shots on this card, but at plus 240 against a guy that is known to gas, against a guy that has fought, I think, far superior competition in my eyes, personally. I'm gonna take Andre Muniz, and you can go a step farther, just like I said, Andre Muniz by submission, because that's the way kind of Edmund loses.
Next fight of the night, middleweight division, we got Atiba Gautier, 8-1, taking on Tristan Vines on short notice, 10-3. Gautier's a fucking beast. Like you got to think he's knocking this guy out. There's no need to break it down farther than that. Gautier should win this fight easily. What do you think?
Yeah. I like this Gautier guy. I actually like the way he fought. So that last fight he fought was like really well done because he stayed a little bit at range on Robert Valentin. And this Valentin guy was like, "Oh, come at me," but he never did. He was really he stalked his prey and he did it the right way. So if he's gonna do that, I seen some of this Tristan Vines guy. He looks okay, but he's not gonna beat this tank of a man. So I'll tell you about Gautier, buddy. Let's go on. Let's just
Moving
not
on
with
to the
that.
main card. If you haven't already, please like, please subscribe. We do appreciate it. First fight of the main card, we got Joe Pyfer, 14-3, taking on Abus Magomedov, 28-6-1. Dude, I'm always looking to fade Pyfer. Always. I'm always looking to fade the guy, but I can't do it here. I can't. Abus Magomedov has a god awful gas tank, so he's not going to gas out Joe Pyfer and slow him down the way we've seen Pyfer lose before. It's just not going to happen. So how is Abus going to win this fight? I mean, is he really going to take him down and submit him? It shouldn't happen. Pyfer should be the much better wrestler here. And I mean, is he really gonna like outstrike? Like, I don't know. Basically, as much as I'm looking to fade Pyfer somewhere, it's not here. I think this is an easy Pyfer win. Um, yeah, I don't know. Give me Joe Pyfer. What do you think?
I'm on the same page with you here, man. I'm always looking to fade Pyfer, but like Ibus is having to use his ground game in his last few wins, right? And I mean, Pyfer should be the better wrestler here, so he should be able to count. I'm not thinking Pyfer might not be the better striker. I think he has a little bit more power, but I think Pyfer does carry the better gas tank for sure, 100% sure. And when Pyfer hits Abus, he's gonna feel it. And the thing about Abus is like sort of kind of like you're just waiting to fall off a cliff, right? And
He
he
turtles.
does
He
fall.
turtles up, and then it's
It's weird, but he always falls off a cliff. Against Strickland, he fell off a cliff after the first round. Even in that Pereira fight where he was in so much control of it, he almost got finished by a guy that was being so fucking lazy and lackadaisical in that fight. Pereira had no business even at getting close to a finish in the end there, but he did. And this is what Abus does, right? So, yeah, I'm not fading Pyfer here. I think he has all the intangibles to win this fight. Cardio, counter wrestling should be enough.
all right. My iPad just died, which I had the Tapology on. What's the next fight?
Hold on a second.
Sorry, man.
Oh, it's okay. Next fight after Pyfer, Josh Emmett and Yusuf Zalal.
All right, Josh Emmett and Yusuf Zalal, 145 division, I'm assuming.
Hmm.
Um, Simply put, Zalal's looked fantastic since coming back. Josh Emmett, power wrestle boxer, I guess you could say, likes to keep it standing. He likes to sprawl and brawl and throw big looping overhand rights. Hits like a fucking truck. If he hits you, you usually go out. Um, but he's just so fucking one dimensional, man. Like, I don't think he wants to take Zalal down because Zalal is very live for a submission. He's a much better submission grappler for sure. And then if they stay on the feet, it could kind of be a boring fight with him kind of marching Zalal down, Zalal backpedaling because he does do a lot of backpedaling and just kind of pitter patter and staying on the outside. Um, I'm gonna take Zalal maybe by submission, even to be honest, maybe decision submission, like double method line or something like that. Um, yeah, give me Zalal regardless. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Zalal here. I think it's just Emmett throws one to Zalal's three. And it's pretty much it. I think this fight can get to the ground if Emmett wants it to get to the ground, but I'm not sure if he really wants it to get to the ground. But what's he gonna do when he's on the ground? He's gonna try to power punch and finish the fight, and Zalal is just gonna end up getting up back again, and then they're just gonna end up going, keeping each other at bay, and then he's just gonna hit him to 1, 2, 3, and then get hit with one. Zalal is minus 450. I don't like it because he keeps fights a lot closer than they should be. That's my issue with Yusuf Zalal, but like I think he should win this fight. He's younger, he's faster. It's not that he's the better striker. I think he's got more volume and he's shown a good chin. So
All right. Light heavyweight division, we got fan favorite Yuri Prochazka taking on Khalil Rountree. This is probably the funnest fight on the card, to be honest. Yuri, what can you say about the guy? I absolutely love him. Very chaotic, unorthodox fighter. Throws everything in the kitchen sink at you, spinning fucking punches, back elbows, all kinds of crazy shit. Just total chaos. Love the guy. He's a total weirdo. Very violent fighter. Very hittable. Very fun. Never know what you're gonna get. He's been in there with everybody. He's totally capable of knocking anybody out. And like I said, he's very hittable and he leaves himself open to getting sniped himself. Khalil, much more hesitant, much more defensively sound, probably. But he hits hard as hell. He's fast. He can knock guys out. Absolutely. Very, very fun fight. My heart is with Yuri. I want to pick Yuri. Like, I want him to win, but I find myself leaning Khalil just by being more defensively responsible. I think he starts slow. I think he'll probably be hesitant. His guard will be up. He'll probably kind of try to analyze what's going on and be very cautious. And then at some point, I figure he's going to land a shot. At some point, might put Yuri down and maybe pound him out from the top or something like that. I don't know. Very, very fun fight. Either way, I'm going to enjoy it. Rooting for Yuri. I find myself leaning Khalil just because I think he'll be more defensively sound. What do you got?
Yuri's my boy. I love Yuri. I've always loved Yuri. I've loved him from the first time he came in. I loved him from Risen when he was fighting back then. Um, man, he doesn't win every minute of the fight, but he doesn't give up, and he always will come back hard. He might lose that first round like he did to Rakic, and everyone's like, "Oh man, this guy's gonna control." But boom, Yuri does Yuri things. I think you can say the same thing for the Jamal Hill fight, but then he put him into the nether realm, and pretty much I think has rocked Jamal Hill's career because that was a shell of Jamal Hill that came out and fought Khalil Rountree in that last fight. That was a shell. That was a very hesitant Jamal Hill, right? And honestly, like that's not the same version that went against Yuri. And I say the same thing about Khalil's resume. It's not that great. Um, he lost to Justin Jacoby. You can't. Nobody in the world can tell me that he didn't lose to Justin Jacoby. Anthony Smith. There's other guys on there that I think are just not up to the guys that Yuri's fought. Ozdemir, Glover Teixeira, Pereira twice, Rakic, and Jamal Hill when he wasn't wasted. So, I know that he might not be winning every minute of this fight, but at the same time, like you said, Khalil's not a guy that comes like a bat out of hell either. He stands back, and if this is going to be one of those slow pace sort of like striking matches, then chalk it up for my boy Yuri. I think he thrives in that kind of stuff, and he that's where he creates his best chaos. And I think he does actually have the better ground game if it ever got to the ground. But I just don't think it will. To be honest with you, I don't think it will. But yeah, man, I'm not gonna go against my boy. I think he's fought the better guys and is a better fighter. So, Yodi.
Gonna be a fun one regardless. Wonder if Khalil will attack the legs the way Pereira did in their first fight. But great matchup. Fantastic matchup. It's gonna be a fun one. Moving on, co-main event of the evening, we've got the title on the line. Dvalishvili taking on Corey Sandhagen. Um, I used to hate Marab. When he decisioned Jose Aldo, I was just like, get this guy out of here. The most fucking boring fighter I've ever seen in my life. Decision machine. And truthfully, the guy's grown on me so much. I find him hilarious. Yeah, I think he's a fun guy. He's a funny guy. He's a quirky guy. He's a weird dude. He's all of those things. He's a mental midget. He's fucking. Oh, I know you can't say those words these days. Fucking whatever. Either way, he's an interesting character. He's grown on me. I like the high energy. I get that he's not the most fan friendly style. He's not exactly a sniper of a striker. He's not exactly a crazy submission threat, but he does put on a frantic pace, and that pace is hard to match. It drowns people. It suffocates them. It's a skill in its own right. He is the best at what he does. And I think Corey Sandhagen is a hell of a test here because I think Corey Sandhagen is a long, lanky dude who should be the better striker on paper. He's a good grappler in his own right. Sure, being a lanky guy, he might not have that solid wrestling base like we've seen Corey Sandhagen taken down multiple times in the past. But, he's saying all the right things too. He's saying, I am not going to get punked in wrestling in this fight. I'm sure he worked his ass off on takedown defense. Like Corey Sandhagen keeps getting to this point, and then he keeps fucking losing. Like it's like he can't get over that hump. He just can't get the belt. And it's like this is probably his last shot at it. And I think he's very live to do this. Like we've seen Marab rock before. Like I have to think that he can be knocked out. I have to think that he's due eventually. And the minus or the plus 300 or whatever it is coming back on Corey Sandhagen is very tempting to me. Like, very, very tempting. I don't think anybody is going to decision Marab. So I even think as far as saying that if you're going to bet against him, you're betting that he gets finished. He gets caught in a choke, kind of like the one guy did to him. I forget the arm triangle or whatever.
Ricky
Or
Simone, right? Wasn't
Rick,
it
yeah,
Ricky Simone?
Ricky Simone. He gets caught in a choke or he gets KO'd, and you're probably gonna get it like a fucking plus 600, 700 on that, and that's tempting me. I just feel like Sandhagen is finally due to pull this off. If it goes the distance, it's Merab. The pick will probably be Merab, but the bet is dog or pass. The bet is absolutely dog or pass for me. I will not be betting on Merab. What do you think?
I think Marab wins a decision here. I think Marab's just one of those guys. He has shown, even when he has been rocked, who was it against? Marlon Moraes, I
Marlon
think
Moraes,
maybe was the
yeah.
last one. He showed good get back game. So he showed he can fight through adversity and all that stuff. Now, man, I was always like, oh, Corey has a little bit of a problem with himself because he can get taken down, he can get subbed. I mean, Aljo did it real quickly in a fight that I thought Corey could outstrike him in, but Corey Sandhagen has been working on his wrestling. He still can get taken down as he's shown in that Umar Nurmagomedov fight. And he can still be outstruck as he's shown in that Peter Yan fight. Um, I don't think he gets outstruck by Marab because Marab is just throwing and winging punches to get close to you so he can grab you and do something. Now Marab, I think Marab wins because of his variety of takedowns. He's got toe picks, he's got single legs, double legs. He's got a variety of the ways to get you down. Now, I don't think he wins by submission because Corey Sandhagen's not a bitch like Sean O'Malley. That's the reason why I don't think he wins by. Corey's a tough guy, and I don't think he's just gonna let Murad go about his way and just like sub him. But Sean gets down in those fights, so I saw that happening. Anyways, he cost me money because I just had to go like half a round more in that fight to anyway. Murad by decision, but I like what you're saying about the Corey bet. Like it's not a bad hedge to do the double chance at plus 650 because there's no way in hell Corey Sandhagen wins a decision against Murad Dvalishvili. There's zero chance. He's not going to control enough minutes in this fight to win a decision. So,
And he's
and
not going to get finished. So
I
you could
also
do
don't
Merab
think,
decision.
I don't, but I also don't think a submission's really that live. But let's put it this way: a KO is plus 850 and a double chance is plus 650. You never know because Merab sticks his head into places all the time. It's just guys aren't skilled enough to put it through. Plus, he doesn't look like he really has a bigger upper body, anyways. To be quite honest with you, he's a big head, but neck's not that big. But Corey pulling off a triangle is tough. But I mean, if you're gonna bet this fight, I like the plus 850 on Corey. I like the plus 650 on the double chance. And I also like the Marab by decision, but the juice is ridiculous at minus 188, right? Like
It's minus money on Merab decision.
minus 188. Yeah,
That's
it's
why
the
it's dog
juice
or
is
pass.
ridiculous. So like unless you're gonna play him in DFS, where he would probably score really well. Other than that, I just don't I think either you're gonna put him on a big ass parlay or you're gonna bet on Corey as a single. So those are the ways to attack this fight.
All right. Brings us to our main event. We got the rematch for the 205 title. We got everybody's favorite, Alex Pereira, taking on everybody's fucking snoozer or whatever. Nobody likes the guy. We got Magomed Ankalaev. Fucking pains me to say it. I got Ankalaev by knockout. I just can't see this fight going another five fucking boring rounds. That first fight was god awful. Can't see that happening again. Um, I'm gonna take Ink by knockout. I'm gonna pray that I'm fucking wrong. My whole heart is with Alex Pereira. I think Alex is the people's champ. He's a true fucking warrior. This guy was a lot of people are like to say, oh, he's a fraud. He's gonna get exposed, but he ain't no fucking fraud. I don't care if he gets KO'd in the first round brutally. He's not no fucking fraud, man. This guy stepped up so many times on short notice. He doesn't fucking dodge no one. The guy's been fighting his whole goddamn life. He fights a violent style, kill or be killed. Gotta respect it. Sure, he might be a little bit chinny, whatever. He doesn't still he still fucking fights the dangerous fight. He strikes to kill or be killed. Stepped up enough times. I love the guy. I'm rooting for Alex Pereira. I pray to God he gets that belt back. I just the bet has to be Ankalaev for me, and it would be by knockout for the extra points or whatever. But yeah, that's gonna be the bet for me. What do you think?
Normally, I'd agree with that bet, but there's a couple things. I mean. I rewatched the fight. I mean, he couldn't really get that ground game going there, Ankalaev on Pereira. Pereira looked stout in his takedown defense, and it's just he looked a little weird on the striking numbers. Like he was just like a step behind him, and it was actually a lackluster fucking 5 rounds, right? I mean, I looked at the numbers after just to see because I thought it was lackluster, and Ankalaev threw 94 significant strikes and Pereira threw 75. Like way not enough volume from Pereira, and him coming out. I know it could be excuses saying that he wasn't right in that fight. There was an injury, blah 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 blah. Whatever. I call bullshit on most fighters, and I can still call bullshit on that. Now that being said, that fight was minus 120 and plus 110. Now you're looking at Ankalaev at minus 275 and Pereira at plus 225. Dude, uh, it burns me not to take a shot on Pereira here at plus 225 when I know Ankalaev's never really been knocked out, but I know Pereira can knock him out. I know that Pereira can decision him. Like, I think he can. I think Pereira's shown good volume
Yeah.
in previous fights. It's not like this was a weird one off, right? Maybe Ankalaev's defense is really fucking good, right? Maybe it is. It could be. I'm not saying that it's not. But like when we picked Ankalaev the last time, we picked him as a plus 110 underdog. Now is he minus 275 better than Alex Pereira? I I I don't know. I if this was fucking close like the last fight, Ankalaev all day because in a close fight, yeah, but like you're giving me plus 225 on a guy that I know can knock this guy out. And a guy that's shown me that he is leveled up on his takedown defense. And a guy that shows me that he works hard for all his fights. And everything leading up to this is like you see all these workout videos. He looks like he's taking this seriously. And you know what? In the back of my mind, maybe there was a fucking injury. Who fucking knows? I don't know. I don't know. And I'm not using that as anything to say. But strike for strike, Pereira's just as good of a striker as Ankalaev. Who has the power edge? Pereira has the power edge. Everybody would have said Ankalaev has the grappling edge, but he couldn't fucking take him down. What makes everyone think he could take him down here? I
I don't think he needs. I think it's a striking match. Like
I
I
think
don't
it's a
think.
striking match, and I think Pereira can match strike for strike. Honestly, God, honestly, God. So at plus 225, I'm gonna take a fucking stab on Pereira because the knockout is plus 300. So who the fuck cares about that? I'm not gonna take 75 points just in case because Pereira is very live for a decision here as well. Ankalaev has been lackluster in many a decision.
He's been in many close decisions.
Many close decisions, and he's been lackluster in many fights. So for me to say like that last Marab fight, there was no chance Corey Sandhagen is going to win a decision, right? But there's a small chance like if this goes away, that even if Ankalaev out volumes fucking Pereira, Pereira can still win a fight because he landed the harder shots, right? I mean, and that is so in the realm of things happening, right? So
Dude, we saw Jan Blachowicz, whatever, however the fuck you say his name, leg kick Ankalaev to a draw, and like he was close to finishing that fight with fucking leg kicks. Alex has some damn good leg kicks too.
what about
So
that stupid fight he had with Thiago Santos, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that fight was way closer than it should. Ankalaev should have rolled on that guy, and he let that. He won the fight, but like, how long are you gonna let these guys stick in there? Like, honest to God, and Pereira is a beast, bud. And like, honestly, man, these odds, I cannot not take a shot on Pereira plus 200 and plus money. So, if this much plus money, when it's a small low plus like whatever, I'm saying okay, maybe Ankalaev is the more well-rounded guy, but at this. Plus, with what I saw in the takedown defense, and plus, I know Glover's hammering fucking grappling into him, right? Glover's not no bitch, right? Even in Glover's last fights, he's always been a tough son of a fucking bitch. And as a coach, like I could see it, Glover just hammering this shit into Alex. So he's coming from a good camp. So I'm taking
Hey,
Alex.
I fucking love it. I hope you're right. Alex is one of my favorite fighters, so God knows I'll be rooting for it. Looking forward to Saturday. Finally, a pay-per-view card. Fucking let's all smash the books. Let's all win. Drop us some comments. Let us know your favorite pick, your favorite prop, all that. Good luck. We'll talk soon.